Hey, coin collectors and history buffs! Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into the fascinating world of rare coins, and more specifically, the 1967 US 1-cent coin. You might be thinking, it's just a penny, but believe it or not, this small coin could be worth much more than its face value, up to $30,000. Stick around as we uncover the hidden value, history, and unique story behind this intriguing penny. Now, we all know that a penny is worth 1 cent, right? But what if I told you that there are certain pennies that have become so valuable that they can fetch tens of thousands of dollars at auctions? Yes, it's true. And today, we're talking about the 1967 penny, the one you might have sitting in your coin jar right now. So why is this specific penny worth big money? Let's dig into the details. The 1967 US 1-cent coin was minted during a time of great change in the United States. With its copper composition and the classic design of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse, this penny looks like any other penny in circulation. However, there's something very special about a select few of these coins that makes them incredibly valuable. Before we get into the big money part of the 1967 penny, let's take a brief look at its history to understand why some of these coins became so rare. The 1967 penny is a part of the series of coins issued by the U.S. Mint in the 1960s, but it stands out because of some unusual circumstances. In the 1960s, the U.S. government was in the middle of transitioning from the more expensive copper and silver-based coins to coins made with cheaper materials. In fact, the 1967 penny was one of the last pennies to be made with pure copper before the U.S. Mint switched to a copper-plated zinc composition starting in 1982. The year 1967 was also a pivotal time in U.S. history. The country was heavily involved in the Vietnam War. The civil rights movement was gaining momentum, and the space race was in full swing. With all these historic events taking place, it's no surprise that the 1967 penny would end up holding a deeper value than anyone could have predicted. So let's get to the juicy part. Why is a 1967 penny suddenly worth up to $30,000? Well, there's a very important reason that only a few of these pennies could fetch such an astronomical amount of money. The secret lies in something known as the double die obverse variety. This is a rare minting error that happened when a coin die was struck more than once. The result? A doubled image on the coin's design. If you look closely, you might notice that the date, the word Liberty, and even parts of Lincoln's image are doubled. This flaw is what makes these particular coins so desirable to collectors. When this kind of doubling occurs, it's not something you can find just anywhere. It takes a very specific type of error during the minting process, and that means only a small number of these double die pennies exist. As a result, the value skyrockets. Now, you might be wondering, how can I tell if I have one of these rare 1967 double die pennies in my collection? Great question. It's actually easier than you might think, but it does require a careful eye and a little bit of know-how. First, take a close look at the date, Liberty, and the word "In God We Trust." If you notice any extra outlines or a slight shift in the lettering or details, then you may have a double die penny. The doubling typically appears as a shadow-like effect, giving the coin an almost ghostly appearance. Use a magnifying glass or even a loupe to get a better view. This will help you spot the faint doubling on the design. It's a subtle error, but once you know what you're looking for, you'll be able to identify it. So let's talk about the value. A regular 1967 penny is worth just 1 cent. But if you happen to have a 1967 double die penny, you could be sitting on a small fortune. In fact, these rare coins have been known to sell for as much as $30,000 at auction. In some cases, they can even go for more, depending on the condition of the coin and the rarity of the doubling. A coin in mint condition, that is, with little to no wear could fetch a higher price, while a coin with some signs of wear might still be worth a few $1,000s. Other factors, like the overall scarcity of these double-die pennies and their desirability among collectors, also contribute to their value. With only a limited number of these coins in existence, the demand is high. So, if you find one of these in your collection or in circulation, you might want to get it professionally appraised. Now, if you think you have a 1967 double-die penny and you're wondering where to sell it, there are several options available. Coin shops, auction houses, and online marketplaces like eBay can be great places to get started. But before you list it for sale, make sure you have it properly authenticated. A certified coin grading service like the PCGS or NGC can help determine its authenticity and give it a professional grade. This will increase its value. Having your coin graded by a reputable service is a smart way to ensure you're getting the best possible price for your rare find. So, there you have it. Your 1967 penny could be worth much more than you ever imagined. If you happen to find a double-die penny, you could be looking at a significant payday. But as always, remember to carefully inspect your coins, and if you find something special, don't hesitate to get it evaluated. Thanks for watching today's video. I hope you learned something new about the hidden value of the 1967 US penny. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more coin collecting tips and history. And who knows, maybe the next big find could be sitting in your pocket right now. Until next time, happy collecting. Next. Today, we're diving into the world of rare coins, and specifically, we'll be talking about the 2001 US 1-cent coin. You might be thinking, it's just a penny. What's so special about it? Well, trust me, you're going to want to hear this. This seemingly ordinary penny could actually be worth up to $70,000. Yes, you heard that right. Stick around, and let's uncover the fascinating story of the 2001 penny and why it's worth such big money. Now, if you're like most people, you probably have a ton of pennies lying around in jars or drawers, just collecting dust. But what if I told you that you could be holding on to a coin worth tens of thousands of dollars? Today, we're focusing on the 2001 penny. It's a modern coin, but it holds a very special place in the world of numismatics. So what makes this coin so valuable? Let's break it down. The 2001 penny, which was minted in Denver, looks like any other penny from the early 2000s. The design features Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. On the surface, there's nothing to make it stand out, right? But here's where things get interesting. Before we dive into the value of the 2001 penny, let's quickly talk about its history. The U.S. Mint produced the 2001 penny as part of the standard annual issue, and it was released in millions. At the time, it was made from 97.5% zinc and 2.5% copper, which is the same composition that most modern pennies are made of. But what happened next? And why does this coin have such a unique story? During the 2000s, the U.S. Mint was mass-producing pennies for circulation, as it always does. However, something went wrong during the minting process in 2001. A certain number of the 2001 pennies were struck with a very unusual defect. This error coin became highly sought after by collectors, and it's what makes the 2001 penny so valuable today. Okay, so here's the moment you've been waiting for. The reason why this penny can be worth up to $70,000. It all comes down to a specific error that occurred during its production. The 2001 penny that is worth big money has something known as a double die error. A double die error happens when a coin die, which is used to stamp the design onto the coin, is misaligned during the minting process. This causes the design to be struck more than once, creating a doubling effect. On the 2001 penny, This error is most visible in the word Liberty and in the date 2001. If you look closely at the coin under magnification, you'll notice that the lettering is not only faint but also has a shadowy, doubled effect. It's almost like the design was stamped twice, creating a second, ghost-like image right next to the original. This subtle but significant mistake is what makes the 2001D penny so rare and valuable. So how can you tell if you have one of these rare, error-prone 2001D pennies? Good question. The key is to look for the double die feature. Let's walk through how to spot it. First, examine the date and the word Liberty on the obverse of the coin. If you see that the digits in 2001 and the letters in Liberty are doubled, then you might have a valuable penny on your hands. The doubled letters will appear as though they've been stamped more than once, creating a shadow effect. The doubling is subtle but visible with the right tools. To make sure you're not missing anything, I recommend using a magnifying glass or a loupe to get a closer look. Pay particular attention to the lower parts of the letters and numbers, as these are where the doubling is often most noticeable. So now that we know how to identify the double die penny, let's talk about its value. A regular 2001D penny is worth just 1 cent, nothing special there. But the 2001D double die penny? That's where the real value lies. Due to the rarity of the double die error, these coins can be worth thousands of dollars, sometimes even up to $70,000. That's right. At auction, a high-grade, well-preserved 2001D double die penny has been known to fetch incredible prices. The value can vary depending on the coin's condition and the level of doubling, but it's not unheard of for these rare pennies to reach such sky-high amounts. In lower grades, the 2001D double die penny can still be worth hundreds or even a few $1,000s. But the most valuable ones, those with strong, clear doubling and little wear, can hit the big time. A coin in mint condition, especially one that's been graded by a professional grading service, will fetch top dollar. So you think you've found a 2001D double die penny in your collection or in circulation? What's next? Well, it's time to think about selling it or getting it appraised. First, make sure to get your coin authenticated and graded by a professional service like the PCGS or NGC. A reputable grading service will evaluate the quality of the coin and assign it a grade, which will significantly affect its market value. A high-grade coin can demand a much higher price. You can sell your valuable 2001D double die penny through auction houses, online marketplaces like eBay, or even through specialized coin dealers. Just be sure to do your research, as the market for rare coins can fluctuate, and you'll want to get the best deal. So why is this specific penny worth so much? Well, there are a few key factors. First, the double die error is a rare and unique mistake that can only happen during the minting process. The fact that only a small number of 2001D pennies were affected by this error makes them highly desirable to collectors. Add to that the coin's relatively recent production date, and you've got a modern-day treasure that could be hiding right in your pocket. Well, there you have it. The 2001D penny, a coin that looks ordinary but could be worth an extraordinary amount of money. If you find one of these rare error pennies, make sure to get it checked out and graded. Who knows? You could be holding on to a small fortune. Thanks for watching today's video. If you enjoyed this and want to learn more about rare coins, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel for more great content. And, as always, happy collecting! Next. Hey there, fellow collectors! Welcome back to the channel. Today, we have something really special to talk about, the 2015 US 1 cent coin. You might think, a penny from 2015? There's nothing special about that, but trust me, there's more to this coin than meets the eye. This seemingly ordinary penny could actually be worth as much as $35,000, or even more. In this video, we're going to uncover the history, rarity, and the hidden value of the 2015 D penny. Let's dive in. We all know pennies, right? They're small, common, and usually worth just 1 cent. But sometimes, a coin that looks ordinary can be hiding something truly extraordinary. Today, we're talking about the 2015 D penny. You might have one sitting in your coin jar right now, and it could be worth thousands of dollars. Let me show you how. The 2015 D penny, minted in Denver, is made of 97.5% zinc and 2.5% copper, like most modern U.S. pennies. On the obverse, it features Abraham Lincoln, and on the reverse, we see the shield design that's been used since 2010. At first glance, this coin might look just like any other penny you've seen or even found in circulation. But here's the kicker. There's a specific version of this coin that has some really rare and valuable characteristics. Before we talk about why the 2015 D penny could be worth so much, let's take a quick look at its history. The 2015 penny was minted as part of the U.S. Mint's annual coin production. At this point, the U.S. Mint had been producing pennies with the shield reverse since 2010. So, if you've ever looked at a 2015 penny, you've probably noticed that it looks very similar to other modern pennies, nothing particularly eye-catching. The year 2015 was a relatively calm year in the world of U.S. coinage. There were no major changes to the penny design, and the U.S. Mint continued its routine process of producing millions of these coins for circulation. But in the case of some of these pennies, something went wrong, a mistake that would turn this everyday penny into a valuable rarity. So what's the big deal about the 2015 D penny? Why is this particular penny so valuable? Well, here's where it gets really interesting. It all comes down to a very specific error that happened during the minting process. The 2015 D penny that's worth up to $35,000 or more is known for having a unique, rare error. The D mint mark on some of these pennies was overstruck. Yes, you heard that right. An overstruck mint mark occurs when the mint mark, usually the D for Denver in this case, gets stamped more than once in the same location, causing it to overlap or appear blurry. When you look at a 2015 D penny with this error, the D mint mark may seem to have a ghostly second impression, giving it a double-stamped appearance. This kind of error is rare, and collectors go crazy for it. Take a look at this coin right here. You can see the mint mark clearly, but on some overstruck coins, it will look like it's doubled or blurry. The overstruck mint mark is what makes the 2015 D penny so special and so valuable. So how do you know if you have one of these valuable 2015 D pennies with the overstruck mint mark error? It's actually pretty simple if you know what to look for. First, examine the D mint mark carefully. Normally, the D mint mark is crisp and clear, but if it looks blurry or like it has a second, faint D on top of the first, you're looking at a rare overstruck error. The overstruck mint mark can be subtle, so use a magnifying glass or a loupe to get a closer look. Check for any signs of the mint mark being doubled, shifted, or blurry. If you can see this, you've got an error coin, and that's where the value starts to go up. Now, let's talk about the value of this rare coin. A regular 2015 D penny, like any other modern penny, is worth just 1 cent. But when you find a 2015 D penny with an overstruck mint mark error, the value can skyrocket. These error coins have been known to fetch prices upwards of $35,000 at auction, and in some cases, even more. The value can vary depending on the severity of the error, the condition of the coin, and the demand among collectors. But for a high-grade 2015 D penny with a noticeable overstruck mint mark, you could be looking at a 6-figure sale. Coins like this don't come around every day, and collectors are always on the lookout for such rare and fascinating errors. Some overstruck mint-mark pennies in pristine condition have fetched incredible prices, sometimes even exceeding $50,000, depending on the auction and how competitive it gets. So, if you're holding on to a 2015 D penny that fits this description, you could be sitting on a small fortune. So, if you found a 2015 D penny with an overstruck mint mark, you might be wondering, where can I sell it? Well, there are several options. You can start by getting your coin professionally graded by a service like the PCGS or NGC. Grading is important because a higher grade will significantly increase the value of your coin. A professional grading service will assess the quality and authenticity of the coin, which is crucial if you're trying to sell it for top dollar. Once it's graded, you can sell your coin at auction houses, on eBay, or through specialized coin dealers. Be sure to do your research and find a reputable platform for selling high-value coins. With its rarity and unique error, a 2015 D overstruck penny is sure to catch the attention of serious collectors. So why is this particular penny worth so much? There are a few reasons. First, the overstruck mint mark error is incredibly rare. The U.S. Mint doesn't make this kind of mistake often, which makes these coins highly desirable among collectors. Additionally, the 2015 D penny is from a relatively recent minting year, which means that even though it's modern, it has the potential to become a true numismatic treasure. So there you have it, the 2015 D US 1-cent coin with the overstruck mint mark. What seems like an ordinary penny could be worth $35,000 or more. If you have one of these coins, make sure you get it checked out and graded, because you could have a real gem on your hands. Thanks for tuning in today. I hope you learned something new about the 2015 D penny and its incredible value. If you liked this video, don't forget to hit that like button, comment with your thoughts, and subscribe for more rare coin content. And remember, happy collecting! Today, we're diving into a topic that you won't want to miss. Now, we all know pennies are worth just 1 cent. Nothing too exciting there, right? But what if I told you that the 1988 US 1-cent coin, yes, a penny from 1988, could actually be worth as much as $7 million? Sounds unbelievable. But stick around because we're about to uncover one of the most fascinating stories in modern coin collecting. This penny is worth far more than face value. Let's find out why. Now, if you're like most people, you probably have a jar full of pennies just sitting around. But what if I told you that one of those pennies, one from 1988 of all years, could potentially make you a millionaire? Sounds too good to be true, right? But trust me, this penny is far from ordinary. In fact, it's one of the most rare and valuable coins out there. In this video, we're going to explore the history, the rarity, and the mind-blowing value of the 1988 penny, and I'm sure you'll be amazed by what you're about to learn. First, let's take a quick look at the 1988 US penny. On the front, it features the familiar image of President Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner. And on the reverse side, you'll see the iconic Lincoln Memorial, which had been featured on pennies since 1959. The coin was minted in 1988 as part of the regular annual production of pennies by the U.S. Mint. In 1988, the U.S. Mint continued its regular production of pennies, made from 97.5% zinc and 2.5% copper. Millions of these pennies were produced for circulation, and they all looked very similar to the ones before it. But as with any mass production, things don't always go as planned, and sometimes, small mistakes can lead to something truly extraordinary. So, why is the 1988 penny worth a staggering $7 million? Well, here's where the story gets really interesting. While most 1988 pennies are worth just 1 cent, there was a rare and unique error that occurred during production, And it's this error that makes the 1988 penny one of the most valuable coins in history. Some 1988 pennies were struck with a huge mistake. They were double struck, but not just once, twice. This error is known as a double die or double struck penny, and it makes the design appear blurry and misaligned, especially around the date and the word Liberty. On a normal penny, you'll see clear, sharp features, like the L in Liberty or the 1 in 1988. But if you look closely at the double-struck version of the 1988 penny, you'll see that these features are doubled, creating a blurry, ghost-like effect. This error is incredibly rare, and only a handful of these double-struck pennies were made, which is what makes them so valuable. So how can you tell if you have one of these rare and valuable double-struck 1988 pennies? It's all about the details. Let me walk you through how to identify this error. First, check the date and the word Liberty on the obverse of the coin. On a regular penny, these features are clear, but on the double-struck penny, you'll notice that the date will look like it's been stamped twice, with the second stamp slightly misaligned. The word Liberty will also show similar signs of doubling, creating a ghost-like effect around the letters. To identify this error more easily, use a magnifying glass or a loupe to get a closer look at the details. You should also check the areas around the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse side of the coin, as this is another spot where the doubling may appear. If the doubling effect is noticeable, then you're looking at a rare error coin. Now, let's get to the really exciting part, the value. As I mentioned earlier, the value of a regular 1988 penny is just 1 cent. But a double-struck 1988 penny can be worth a whopping $7 million. Yes, you heard that correctly, $7 million. At auctions, double-struck 1988 pennies have sold for prices in the millions. The exact price depends on the condition of the coin and the level of doubling. A coin in mint condition with a clear, visible doubling effect can fetch up to $7 million, but even lesser quality double-struck coins can command hundreds of thousands of dollars. This kind of error is extremely rare, so it's no wonder collectors are willing to pay such extraordinary prices for it. When you factor in the rarity of the error, the historical significance of the 1988 penny, and the condition of the coin, you can see why it's become one of the most highly coveted error coins out there. So what should you do if you think you've found one of these rare 1988 double-struck pennies? Well, first, get it checked out by a professional grading service like the PCGS or NGC. Grading is crucial because the better the grade, the higher the value. A grading service will evaluate the quality of the coin and assign it a grade, which can range from poor to mint state. The higher the grade, the more valuable the coin. After getting it graded, you can sell it at an auction house, online coin marketplaces like eBay, or through a trusted coin dealer. Be sure to get multiple appraisals if you plan to sell, and don't be afraid to shop around to find the right buyer. With a coin this valuable, it's important to do your research to ensure that you get the best price. So why exactly is the 1988 double-struck penny worth so much? There are a few key factors that come into play here. First, the rarity of the error is huge. Double-struck pennies don't happen often, and when they do, only a small percentage of them survive in good condition. The second factor is the historical significance of the penny. 1988 was a transitional time for the U.S. Mint, and error coins like these are especially interesting to collectors who focus on U.S. coin history. Lastly, the condition of the coin plays a major role in its value. A well-preserved penny with a clear double strike is worth far more than one with heavy wear. So there you have it, the 1988 U.S. 1-cent coin, a seemingly ordinary penny that could be worth $7 million if it has the right error. If you have a penny from 1988, now is the time to check it carefully. You might be sitting on a small fortune. Thanks for tuning in. If you enjoyed learning about this incredible coin, be sure to hit that like button, drop a comment below if you've ever found a rare coin, and don't forget to subscribe for more awesome coin content. Until next time, happy collecting, and good luck finding your next treasure.